Yo, what's going on? Yikes. Sorry. Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chandler with Geek Slays. Welcome back to Sports at Sunup. It has been a hot minute since I've recorded one of these, since I've done anything. But I think, week 3 of the NFL is back. I don't know how long it's going to be till we get Sasquatch back, but I miss talking sports. I miss throwing my opinion out there on the internet, hearing what everybody has to say. So let's talk week 3 and then talk about the NBA conference finals that both just concluded tonight. So let's start with week 3 of the NFL. Let's start with the Dolphins-Jaguars game. There's two things I can say here. One is the Jaguars are so much better than I expected, seeing as they have two players who I remember on their team as being real people. Seems like their team is a bunch of nobodies who just show up and play and have actually played well. The second thing is something I've said forever about the Dolphins and about any team, where Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback. And that's if you want Ryan Fitzpatrick to lose, you're doing it wrong. Because that man will fuck around and win you a couple games. And he's played really well this year. So I kind of hope to see that continue. I love Fitzpatrick. I'd never want him to be the quarterback on a team where the team was expected to do good, because he never does good on those teams. But, the Dolphins and Jaguars have both looked better than I expected coming into the season. Then we have the 49ers and the Giants. The 49ers today looked great without Jimmy G, without Nick Bosa, without Raheem Mostert. They played really well. Again, it was against the Giants, so we have to, take that with a grain of salt. But Nick Mullins played really well, and Jerick McKinnon played okay. It would have been nice to see him get some more yards. His average today was 2.7 per carry. That's a little rough. Daniel Jones, I still think can be a good quarterback. Problem is, he just needs to work on turnovers. We've talked a lot about that with other quarterbacks around the league and throughout history. Peyton Manning turned the ball over a ton when he was young. And then again when he got old. But, you can work on turnovers. It's about other things, about, when deciding whether you're a good NFL quarterback or not. So I think we should give that some time. I think he'll get there. The 49ers were pretty impressive without Jimmy G. So that's a good sign if you're a 49ers fan. Then we had the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns. Didn't see much from this game. Dwayne Haskins was very turnover happy today. But I mean, when your weapons, aren't great, it's really easy to mess that up and make mistakes. I think if you give it some time and really build up this team around Dwayne Haskins, he could be a decent starting quarterback. I don't think he can be a star, but I think he can be a good starting quarterback in this league. Then with the Browns, Baker played well. Again, they really ran the ball more, but that's what the Browns should do. They're a great running team with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So I don't understand passing it 50 times a game. 25 to 30 is where I'd want to be with Baker. And if he can keep his completion percentage high, that's good. I mean, coming out of the draft, we all thought Baker was going to be good because he was accurate. Last year he wasn't very. So we got to hope that accuracy gets back up and then not making mistakes with turnovers. But a good win for the Browns. Their defense played okay. Need to work on it a little bit. Then we have the Bengals and the Eagles tying 23-23, which is rough. Joe Burrow through 3 games has looked amazing. The Bengals record doesn't show it, but Burrow has played incredibly well for how young he is. In the first game he had 60 pass attempts. He had 44 today, no turnovers. He's balling out, which is good. He needs to. On the other side for the Eagles, Carson Wentz has not looked good this year, and I've been a big advocate for how good Carson Wentz should be. So it's rough to see him playing so poorly, making as many mistakes as he does. Hopefully he'll get it figured out. That offensive line is terrible. Jason Peters he looks shot, man. But The Eagles have been playing rough. They need to get it together. Then we have the Patriots beating the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders still look good. Derek Carr's been playing really well this season. I think a big part of it, though, is just that Josh Jacobs could never really get it going. And I don't think Henry Ruggs even played today, so hopefully they can figure that out. For the Patriots, Cam just continuing to perform. I don't know why people didn't think Cam would play well. He is great, really. I mean, the last time we saw him healthy, he won an MVP. So I don't know why everybody was thinking the Patriots would be awful, because that makes no sense. The Bears-Falcons game, I was stunned that they pulled Mitchell Trubisky when they did, but apparently it was a good choice. They're now 3-0. Nick Foles came in and played really, really well. But honestly, that might be the end for Mitchell Trubisky. We might not see him in a Bears uniform again. And I don't feel terrible about that. I thought the Trubisky pick was bad when they did it. And then I don't know what's wrong with the Falcons with, them blowing leads this year. Hopefully they can get that back together. Then we got the Rams and the Bills. The Bills barely squeaked this one out. They allowed the Rams to come back when they had a 28-3 lead. Hashtag relatable to the Falcons. But the Bills were actually able to hold on. This year, Josh Allen actually has looked like a quarterback, so that's really good if you're a Bills fan. Not a lot to talk about there. Both teams' defenses didn't play well, but their offenses kind of showed up. Then we got the Steelers beating the Texans 28-21. This Texans team, man, it was a mistake for you to trade away D-Hop. You got rid of Deshaun's biggest weapon. And now he's making mistakes because he's throwing to receivers who aren't as good of route runners, don't have as good of hands. And David Johnson, I don't think has 100 yards rushing on the season yet, and it's been 3 games. He was washed. That was a terrible trade. And for the Steelers, this is their first 3-0 start in a long time. Their defense looks pretty good. Big Ben seems to be back doing Big Ben things. That Steelers team could be scary, man. Then we got the Titans at my Vikings, and man, we suck. Ryan Tannehill played okay other than the 1 interception. That's going to happen against the Vikings defense sometimes. Derrick Henry with over 100 yards rushing. Couple receivers playing really well. We really got to figure out our corners, and then Kirk really has to figure out what he's doing. I think he has 8 interceptions now through 3 games. We're paying you $30 million, bud. You can't be doing that. We need you to be accurate. That's the only thing you've ever been good at is accuracy, and if you can't do that, get the fuck off the team. Dalvin Cook rushed for 181 yards. Kirk, you threw 3 TDs. You know what killed us? Your 2 fucking interceptions. You gotta get better. Justin Jefferson, our rookie, put up 7 catches for 175 and a TD. He looked amazing. The only other Vikings receiver as a rookie to ever put up as many yards as him in a first half was Randy Moss against Dallas in 1998. But we really need to figure out what's going on with our corners, and our defense really seems to have a tough time tackling. We need to figure out whatever the problem there is. Yannick Ngakoue actually looks like a nice pickup. Too bad our team sucks, so it's not going to matter, and he probably won't want to stick around. Then we got the Panthers at the Chargers, winning that one. Panthers get their first win. Teddy gets his first win back as an actual starter. Teddy's played well this year, and I'm super excited for him. It is rough seeing the Panthers without C-Mac. Who knows really how far they can go. Justin Herbert played well again, but you're asking a rookie to throw 50 times in a game twice, and made a mistake with the interception, but when you're asking a rookie to throw that much, you're asking for trouble. He doesn't have the league figured out yet, and you're just throwing him to the wolves like that. I don't love it. Then we have the Jets and the Colts. The Colts blow them out 36-7. The only thing I really want to talk about here, the only real touching point I have, is Xavier Rhodes, who has been trash for 2 years for the Vikings, gets to the Colts and apparently figured out how to play football again. So that's frustrating. The Vikings just no longer have a culture of being able to have good players. I don't know what that's about. Then we got the Cowboys at Seahawks. This was a huge game. Apparently there were some rough calls, but I mean, Dak threw 2 interceptions. So, yeah, I mean, you got to look at that. Russell Wilson's making a huge case for MVP. 14 touchdowns through 3 weeks. That's never been done before, and it's insane. He's putting up video game numbers constantly. You know, I think their defense really does need some work if they're going to truly be a title contender, but Russell Wilson can push them. You know, this team goes as far as Russell Wilson can take them, and I have trust and faith that Russell can take them a long ways. The Cowboys, man, you got to be worried. You need some help on defense, too. Every team has been able to shred you, and I'm sorry, Dak's not going to win you any games in a shootout. Then we got the Lions and the Cardinals. Matt Stafford played well again. Adrian Peterson's playing okay. Kyler Murray looked fairly good. 3 interceptions, though. That's not gonna cut it. He's gonna need to, like every young guy, work on minimizing mistakes. Hopefully he can do that, because I see a bright future for this team. Larry Fitzgerald, who knows how long he'll play? It could be 1 year, it could be 10. He doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Then we got the Buccaneers at the Broncos. This was an easy game for the Buccos. I mean, Brady versus Jeff Driscoll. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, like I don't understand what the thought process here was. And it even looks like either maybe Driscoll got hurt. I don't know. Hopefully Blake Bortles can show up for them so they at least have some sort of actual NFL QB. Then we got the Packers at the Saints. The Packers won 37-30. Seemed like a really good game. I wasn't actually able to watch it. A-Rod's still putting up insane numbers. Drew Brees played a lot better than he did last week on Monday night. Alvin Kamara, I don't really know what's going on, why the Saints are only giving him 6 carries. I mean, he had 13 catches for 139 yards and 2 TDs, but that man's a playmaker. Give him the ball more. Run him more. I don't know why you're hiding him or whatever, but give your best players a chance to make plays. That's really all it takes to be good in the NFL, is give your guys a chance, and that's why I have such a problem with Kirk Cousins. He's not giving people a chance. Now, let's switch gears here and let's talk NBA. We got the Lakers going to the finals after beating the Nuggets. This Nuggets team's scary, man. I mean, they might lose Paul Millsap, they might not, but they're young guys in Murray, Jokic, Grant, and Michael Porter Jr. That makes that team really scary. They just got to the Western Conference Finals, and I don't think anyone but Jokic has hit their peak yet. In the bubble, Jamal Murray looked amazing. Michael Porter Jr. showed those flashes of that guy that we all knew should be the number 1 overall pick until the injury concerns came up. This team, in 2 to 3 years, I think, is going to be the best team in the league, and it won't be close. But let's talk about the best team in the bubble, in my opinion, and that's the Lakers. I mean, LeBron and AD put on a show like they always do, and they've been getting huge contributions off the bench. This series, it was Dwight Howard, who, was just able to bring some energy on defense and really be that wall you could throw in front of Jokic that it made Jokic tired. He had to work. You don't win Defensive Player of the Year 3 times for nothing. So I really do think Dwight is going to be a key piece for this team in the finals. But let's talk about their finals opponent, the Miami Heat. Who, if I would have told you at the beginning of the year the Miami Heat were going to make the NBA Finals, you would have looked at me like I was insane. But I saw it as a decent possibility. Jimmy's great, and if the team around him can play well, they're going to go far. I mean, in Game 6 that just happened tonight, Bam Adebayo put up 32 and 14. Those are huge numbers. Now, do I think this team really has a shot in the finals? No. Because who's going to guard AD? Bam? Bam? Really? No. AD is wild. But also, who do you throw at LeBron? Iggy to shut him down so he can still put up a 35-point triple-double every night. That's Iggy's version of shutting him down. Jimmy's a dog. He's a great defender. He ain't stopping LeBron. I'm sorry, the basketball gods have kind of showed us that this year is the Lakers' year. This one's for LeBron, but not really. This one's for Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. This is going to be easy. I think we'll see, though, on Wednesday night. Hopefully the Lakers, at least hopefully for me, because that's the team I picked this year, hopefully the Lakers come out firing. And I didn't really get to talk about it that much earlier in the year, because normally when I would have really picked up on basketball talk, basketball got shut down. But all the people who said the Clippers are, easily the best team in the NBA, because they built themselves to beat LeBron. You gotta remember the rest of the league exists too. And let's be honest, if Luka doesn't get injured in the first round, they might lose there. They were lucky to make it to the Nuggets, and then they were lucky to get a 3-1 lead on the Nuggets, but a 3-1 lead is apparently right where the Nuggets want you. They want you to be comfortable so that they have more of a chip, I guess. I think the Clippers really have to rethink some things. I think I heard Kawhi Leonard talking about, we didn't play enough together and we were resting too much. Bro, that's on you. You're the one who only wants to play 45 games a season. There's a reason you'll never win an MVP award. There's a reason I don't think you should ever be in contention for any award. You say LeBron rests too much when he only plays 80 games and then you're fine with Kawhi playing 70? Fuck out of here. The Clippers have a lot to rethink, and they have a lot of players they're going to lose. They're going to lose Montrez. Might lose Lemon Pepper Lou. Might lose Pat Bev. Then what do you have? You have Kawhi and Playoff P, who, let's be real, I agree with Skip Bayless. His name's now George Paul. But I think for now, that's all I have to say, but hopefully Sports at Sunup is at least back a little bit more. I hope it's not another 3 months before we get an upload on here, but if it is, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.